when you're trying to shift those soundtracks, you can sometimes use different tools or strategies, or I would call them maybe hacks.
Yeah.
To try and get yourself in a different spot.
Welcome back to In Residence. I'm Keith.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Keith.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing swell. What are we going to talk about?
I have been reading the book Soundtracks by Jon Acuff.
Yes.
I know you've read it before.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many things in this book that I think are really helpful. And I was hoping to talk about some of them and debrief with you.
It's been a while since I listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was around this time of year, maybe, because I remember mowing the lawn and listening to it. And I was kind of like laughing at myself at some points, I think, where I'm like, right, I totally understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So in our last episode, we also were talking about like comfort and music came up.
Yes.
And soundtracks. So I was like, I'm like, right on, dude. This is kind of how I think about it. Like, I know you had some books that we've talked about where it's talking about like, okay, what's the story you tell yourself?
Right.
What's this? And then like I heard like, okay, what's the script? Like, what's the script running in my brain? Like my computer brain, right? Like I need to reprogram it. And so then like,
yeah,
it was a good listen when I had it in my ears before. So
absolutely.
Okay. What do you got?
Okay. So a soundtrack in the book is something that you are thinking, or script, like you called it, but something that you think over and over again. And so an example of a soundtrack could be, I'm really good at playing piano, right? So that's a story that you tell yourself. What?
Your story that you tell yourself, the first one that you bring up is like a positive affirmation of,
okay.
And like my default would be like a negative thought of that's just like, something I'm working on. So I'm talking about it because it's been something I'm working on. Is like I instantly go into like the downside.
So what's a soundtrack that you have?
Something like I'm not good at. Like I'm not a good enough singer, or I don't play guitar well, or I want to play guitar better. Like I go that route.
Okay.
And you went like from on high.
Well, I just thought it was a good example.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of myself. And I'm calling myself out because I had that thought of like, oh, I thought she was going to say something negative and she didn't.
Well, and maybe it's because I'm closer to the book as well right now.
Okay.
But he calls those negative things or more limiting broken soundtracks.
Yeah.
Soundtracks in and of themselves can be positive, they can be neutral, or they can be broken. Some of those things you were saying, I think I would call those more broken soundtracks, that they're a story you tell yourself, but it's not necessarily useful.
Yeah, like how can I like remix it?
Right.
Right.
Yes. So going into that broken soundtracks, Jon Acuff says to ask 3 different questions in a series. So the first is it true? Then the next, is it helpful? And then the third question is it kind? So whenever you catch yourself doing this, or you have a thought, like one of yours was, remind me of one of yours.
I'm not as good at guitar as I want to be.
Okay. The first thing that you're supposed to ask yourself is it true?
And I'd say yes.
Is it helpful? Does it serve you?
It could.
Okay. It could serve you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And is it kind?
I don't think it's unkind. I don't think it's unkind, but it's definitely, I wouldn't say it to somebody else, right?
Right.
So maybe that's my gauge.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably more realistic than kind.
Always the pragmatist.
Well, I could use it as like, to me, it's more of like a nudge of, so practice.
Yeah.
And change that. I'm not crying about it. I'm just saying like that. That was just an example of like something I would think of like what's one of my scripts. And it's like, because it's something I probably write down in like my daily, weekly goals is like practice guitar.
Yeah.
And like, it's a thought, but it's not something I follow through on.
Right.
But it's always something that pops in my mind.
Yeah. One that often goes through my mind, especially after a social situation or interaction. I'm like, gosh, I am so awkward. That is and I think you hear me say that a lot. Like, oh, I just had this interaction and I was so awkward.
And then I'm like, this probably wasn't that bad. And then you tell me, and I'm like, yeah, it's a little awkward.
You just affirm
No, but I'm joking when I say that. And I'm like, what do you, like, don't worry about it. Like,
right.
It's not as awkward as you think.
Yeah. And so, like, if I was to ask myself when I'm thinking about my soundtrack of You Are Awkward, if I was to say, okay, so is it true? And maybe that gut reaction is, yeah, that was a little bit awkward, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't super smooth or charismatic. It was a little awkward. But then is it helpful after the fact? I don't know how helpful it is to label an interaction. I mean, maybe you could try and do better next time.
I think it depends on, like, what are the supporting words with it. I didn't say I'm the worst at guitar. I said I want to be better.
Right.
And so I think that's where I don't think I'm super mean to myself. I think I'm realistic. And I do have, like, certain high standards when it comes to things, but yeah, and maybe that's just my perspective too, and maybe some of the things I do say are more broken and not kind, and so I mean I want to be aware of that, but
yeah,
I didn't think I was being down on myself, but I was seeing, like, oh, that's kind of a negative, that's more on the negative end of it, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess negative kind of connotates that it's not nice.
I think that's a helpful tool just to have in our toolbox.
Yeah.
Of recognizing that our thoughts are soundtracks that we play over and over.
Yeah. Well, and when I have, not to dwell on, like, the negative thought, but when I have them, and I might have brought this up before, what I think now is that serving me? Or what do I have to gain from thinking that? Then I flip it to, what if the opposite were true? That kind of stuff. Just those little exercises that you learn about to help shift your perspective to a different way.
Yeah. Listening to you share that has gotten me thinking a little bit about, so child one has a car that I used to have.
Also called your old car?
My old car. Yes, my old car. And I've left, it has a CD player in it, which he's really stoked about. He's pretty excited about it. But I've left some of my old CDs in there from, gosh, a long time ago.
I think he brought them in.
Not all of them.
No, there's some in there.
There's some in there still. He's kept my Taylor Swift one in there for now.
It's just sitting in there. He didn't bring it in. It's not. I don't know if he's listening to it.
No, I don't think he's listening to it.
I'm pretty sure it's all Green Day.
It's all Green Day all day. But it made me think a little bit about when we used to listen to CDs over and over and over again. There are some that were really good and then put you and shifted you into that positive feel. And there's some that you put on and they would just kind of drag you down or make you sad. Or did you have any CDs like that?
I don't think I would necessarily pick something that would drag me down. I think I would pick something that if I was already down, like in the dumps, this is going to help comfort me while I'm there.
So you never, okay, so maybe it was more that if I was bummed out or whatever, I had a CD that would just give me a good ugly cry.
Yeah, you got to get some brooding music on,
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Help get it out. Yeah, but you made it sound like I'm going to put something that drags me down. I'm like, I don't pick music that drags me down. I usually, like, the music might sound like it might drag somebody down. Like, it might sound like a sad song, but it's usually not making me sad. It's usually going along for the ride with me while I'm sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I think I had a mix, like a CD mix that had all the, like, sad love songs on them. So, in college, and I remember playing it and just being like, I'm never going to find love. And,
How's that working out for you?
I think it's working pretty good now. At the time, though,
oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever listened to, there's a Karen Carpenter song. No, said goodbye to love. It is the most sad. Anyway, I think that was on mine. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the soundtracks of our life, we often pick music to accompany our life, and there's ones that pump you up and make you happy and positive, and there's others that kind of let you, I don't know if fester is the word, but what is that word? Like stew? You said brood.
Yeah.
Right? And they serve a purpose. I think it's the same way with some of our thoughts.
I think there's like a slight difference here between picking music when I'm in a poor mood and being in a bad mood and my thoughts.
Okay.
Music is a mechanism and a tool that I use to shift out of feelings or to embrace them, but it's not usually to enhance the bad feelings. It's actually usually to help me like cope with them.
Yeah, not wallow.
Yeah. Or if I'm wallowing, this is going to help me emote and move through those, right? Instead of ignoring them, right? Like we have feelings for a reason.
Right.
And even if they're bad feelings, we're still feeling them. So we might as well get through that.
Okay.
And so I think music can really help. I didn't like sit around in like my teens and think like, I'm not feeling well, so I'm really going to process this and put some music on. And like, no, it's an inherent thing that you put something on that's in a minor key when you're feeling a little down, right? Like that's just the way like we've developed our musical ear. Now, I'll also put something on if I want to like get pumped up and like gonna play sports, or I'm in a great mood. I want to put on a song that makes me feel like I'm lifted up.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't have music and I'm in a bad mood, I don't know if it's as easy for me to shift out of it or to work through it. If I was left to my own devices, like what's in my head, my soundtracks, like if I don't find the right thing, like I mean, music is a tool that helps me shift my thinking. I mean, I think that's all I'm trying to say. But like, if I was just in a bad mood, I might spiral. And I think an intervention might be putting on a song, even if it might sound sad or it might sound like it's talking about the same stuff that I shouldn't be thinking about, or not necessarily a happy tune when I'm feeling down. There's something like, that's why, so like Metallica or like some Alice in Chains or some aggressive music, right? That's like stuff that I listened to growing up. It's not about like the happiest stuff, but it wasn't making me sad. It was actually like a catharsis of like helping get that energy out, you know? I mean, that's in hindsight, and like talking to other people, like why am I so drawn to this? Like, because it's helping exercise other feelings kind of thing. So anyway, I'm rambling about music a lot. I promise I'll settle down. It's an important tool for me. And I guess I just realized that it's actually probably a coping mechanism for me. And probably has been like since I was pretty young. There was always music. Like I always had a stereo. I always had like a boombox.
Yeah. It sounds like you called it a coping mechanism. I'm hearing that it can be used as a tool.
Yeah.
That you're not just...
Definitely a way to soothe, I think.
Yeah.
Or celebrate.
Well, soothe and shift yourself into, I don't know if it's productive, but like a beneficial space.
I think it literally just gets you moving. Like you tap in your foot. You're feeling the beat. I mean, I think it's a hack to get me moving through a process, whether it's a happy feeling or a bummed out feeling. I mean, usually when I'm bummed out, I'm not looking for music to make me feel more bummed out. But like songs that are about something that's not uplifting might be just what you need if you're not feeling uplifted.
Right. So one thing that Jon Acuff talked about was around when you're trying to shift those soundtracks, you can sometimes use different tools or strategies, or I mean, I would call them maybe hacks.
Yeah.
To try and get yourself in a different spot. So he used the example of, I'm not a writer. He's like, okay, so that was my soundtrack. Then I started going to work on, what if I say I'm a writer and writers do these things? And so he said, I have writing shoes. Like I have these green, like bright green, yellow writing shoes that I put those on and it means I'm going to write. And I go to a coffee shop and it's the specific table that I go to. And like he has these different things that help support action towards changing that soundtrack and showing up for himself in a way that starts to chip away at that broken soundtrack. I think as you're sharing about music, I'm hearing a little bit that could potentially be one of the things that you use in those situations to shift your mood, to get you towards more action.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like what you shared there, of like what he was doing is like, he's like setting the mood or like setting the scene for himself to shift, right? And creating a regimen. I definitely I'm like nodding along, like, oh yeah, like picking out some shoes or like your favorite pens to write with, right? Like these little things that you can do to like create a spark for yourself.
Right.
It's more of like it helps you be intentional. Like we have these chairs here because when we sit in these chairs, we record.
Yep.
I honestly don't really sit in them unless we're recording. I'm going to maybe see what it feels like to sit where you are.
Oh no.
And like maybe I'll like be writing in there because
it's a nice chair.
Something I do remember from listening to the book was when he's like, I'm not a writer. And I'm like, ooh, I wanted to be a writer at some point when I was young. And it's probably just like guitar where I think about it often.
Right.
But I don't do the things that would make me that thing.
Right.
Guitar players play, writers write. So back to what he said, creating the circumstances in which when I put these shoes on, or I have this new purple guitar strap, when I put that on a guitar, that means I pick up the guitar and I play it because I get to use my new strap that my family got me,
Yeah.
I got these new strings over here. I put them on the guitar. That means I get to play these new guitar strings. Making it a priority by, I don't know, leaving little breadcrumbs, I think, making it a little more of a habit through creating rituals almost.
Yeah. And also, creating your space. We're in your studio and looking around, you have, like, I can see the Back to the Future car. What's it called?
The DeLorean?
The DeLorean. Oh, yeah. I can't believe I forgot that.
It's a time machine made out of a DeLorean.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I got a couple of them. I got different scales.
Yeah. But I see Lego, books, comic books, and music, and records, journals, guitars. And he really encouraged folks to surround yourself with the things that bring you joy as well. And that also helps. Your favorite pens. It's not an excuse to spend hundreds of dollars on office supplies. You and I both have a love of office supplies.
Yes, I do get a little loose with the change in my pocket when I walk down the office supplies aisle.
Yes, we both like office supplies. But the idea of creating this space to help you have the rituals and the physical space to help you start doing the action to counter those broken soundtracks is important. And I also want to acknowledge that once you find a broken soundtrack, like, I'm not a writer. And then when you start doing the things and you're writing and showing up, you're like, oh, well, I am writing. So maybe I'm a writer now, and your brain might go, not so fast. Sure, you're writing, but do you think anyone's going to actually want to read what you have to write? So I think our brains are really tricky and primed to constantly be looking and trying to keep us safe, right?
Yeah, trying to stop us from hearing somebody that might say, well, that's not good enough.
Right.
So we say it to ourselves in our head, and then we stop ourselves.
Exactly. And he uses so many different examples. So if anybody, if this resonates with you, checking out his book, I just got it from the library, the Audible book, and he reads it, and he's just fantastic, and he's super funny. But I can't tell you how many times he'll narrate his brain just like that, where he'll have one soundtrack that he's countering. And then his brain's like, once he gets to a point to be like, okay, I'm not going to overthink this. I might not be a book published writer right now, but I am writing. I'm showing up. I'm writing daily. I'm doing these things. And then how your brain just switches. And I think it resonated so much with me because my brain does that. I'm clearly an overthinker when it comes to things like that. Even so, social media is something I have been talking about on our podcast for like a year.
Before we started
Probably,
the podcast.
Yes. And I wanted to put more out there. I think it was a year. It took me a year that we had been releasing episodes to actually put something on Facebook saying, hey, everyone that I know connected to on Facebook,
right?
We have a podcast. And I didn't even do it in a podcast, flashy anything. I wrote this little post. I'm like, oh, by the way, I have a podcast.
Bury the lead.
It was.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's a picture. Oh, and by the way, I'm doing this really cool thing. But you don't have to listen or anything. I just wanted to say it. Because at first saying we're podcasters, that seems
weird.
Are we? But we've been doing this over 2 years now.
Yeah.
And so I think we can tell our brains, listen up, brain. We are podcasters because we show up and we podcast and ship a podcast every week and have for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I better start telling my brain that because then I can tell other people that.
Right.
Like when someone's like, well, what do you do? I'm like, well, I have a project. I guess we make a podcast. It's like, well,
I guess we make a podcast.
Technically, that means we're podcasters. We
are podcasters. I put it in my Instagram profile.
Ooh.
I know. I thought that was a big deal.
Oh, wow. That's right. I should probably look at my bios on those types of accounts and see what I actually wrote.
Yeah.
8 years ago or whenever.
I know. I have been trying to get out on social media more and share about our podcast, be a little more coordinated with the releases so people know they're coming out, but then also just share more about what I'm up to. Because I enjoy seeing what other people are up to, but I had real anxiety over sharing much of anything on social. I had been on the sites just kind of lurking. I don't know how else to say it, but seeing what everyone else was doing, but not creating content or sharing much of anything about myself. And I kind of decided, you know what? I am going to create some things and it's going to be okay. I'm not going to get it right every time, but I'm going to do it. I even made my first TikTok and I posted it this week. And I don't know if it's cheesy or good or a little bit of both, but I do know it's me and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Thanks, hon.
Yeah. So are you doing daily or are you doing?
Well, for TikTok or for social?
Yes.
So social, I'm posting daily / at least 5 times a week on Instagram and Facebook. And then on LinkedIn, I'm posting 2 times a week.
Okay. What about TikTok?
TikTok, my plan is I'm going to post 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Keep my eyes peeled.
Sounds good.
I don't think I have the app on my phone anymore.
Sounds good. I think the thing I have been telling myself is in the book, Jon Acuff says, when you find soundtracks that other people use that you're like, whoa, I want to use that for me, use it. And so one of the ones he had that really resonated with me is I am somebody's Lego. Knowing that he might not be, his book might not be for every single person. But what he's trying to do is to write and share ideas that can help people. And he knows that it might not help everybody, but it'll help some people. So how he gets to the Lego thing is he thinks about how much he loves Lego.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important to know Lego is not everybody's bag. Not everyone loves Lego. And so the same could be said for his books or for our podcast or somebody's digital creations they're putting out on social media, right? I think it's important for us to remember that not everyone, 100% of people, are going to be super excited about everything we're putting out, or it's not going to resonate with everyone, but it will resonate for some people that really love it. That's who we're creating it for. So that soundtrack of I am somebody's Lego, I am creating something that some people enjoy is pretty powerful, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah. You don't want something that's for everybody because that's average.
Right.
Most people just glance over average, right? I mean, that's like a soundtrack that I've learned from Seth. We go to the edges. We want to be special to somebody. We want to be meaningful, right? And yeah, Jon Acuff's books are that. They're a certain kind of Lego, you know?
They are.
And I like that because obviously, as we talked about,
you like Lego.
I've got Lego. And it's something that I'll walk down that aisle and be like, what's on sale? What's a good deal?
Right.
Ooh, what kind of pieces are in that one? Maybe there's a piece I don't have. I might spark some creativity later.
Yeah. And no one would say to you, hey, Keith, you have to go and pick out a Lego. And you'd be like, gosh, darn it. I don't want to do a Lego. Right?
Yeah, I would look forward to it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the point. It's something special that you look forward to, and it's okay that it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's for you.
It's for you, and it's for people that really resonate with you.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Also think borrowing soundtracks from other people, from mentors, from books you read, that can serve you really well too. I've noticed with you that you often will use soundtracks from like Seth Godin.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I hear some of them, it just makes me smile because they're beneficial soundtracks that you have worked to embed in your process. And my guess is possibly to counteract some of those broken soundtracks that you had playing in the background before being introduced to some of Seth's stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's like, because some of it I'll hear and I'll be like, oh, that's what I've thought before. I just didn't have the words. And so that's when something resonates with me that much, I really hold on to it. Or if it's something that opens up a new way of thinking, that's really powerful for me too. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to hold on to that. I'm like, I'm going to write it down and stick it above my computer screen, you know?
You have a few up there.
Yeah. And hold on to it. And the more something sticks with me, the more true it must be, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things stick with me so much that I don't remember if it's my own idea or not. And I think that's like one of the best compliments ever that you can give somebody, that like their idea spread that much that it's now like ingrained in me and part of how I operate. I was listening to like a podcast, and they were talking about perfectionism, you know, something we've talked about, something that I know that I have tendencies for. I don't know if I'm cured, but I definitely don't lean that way. Like I try not to lean into making everything perfect because it just holds me back, right? But they were talking about that, and one of them said, like, you know, it's just, you know, I'm not giving into that perfectionism, you know, like that's the biggest thing that can hold somebody back. And then they're both like, you know, and what do you call the opposite of that? And like, what is, and I'm like, oh, it's resilience. I've learned that from Seth and through like Jon Acuff and Simon Sinek and all these people like Brene Brown, all these people that I listen to, and I pick and choose like all these soundtracks that resonate with me and make my own thoughts with them too. I didn't instantly think, oh, well, Seth Godin would call that resilience. I was like, no, that is the definition of resilience, is knowing that it doesn't need to be perfect. I'm going to go and do it anyway, and I'm going to go through the process. And if it doesn't work, guess what? I'm going to do it again because I'm resilient. I'm not fragile. I'm not going to break. I'm going to keep going, you know?
Yeah.
And so these things become ingrained in me. And people like Seth and the others that I've mentioned, I think that's one of their main goals, is to just help those powerful thoughts spread so that more people do more generous things, like Jon Acuff writing the book soundtracks.
Yeah.
Right? And then we get to share it now. Like, that's part of it rippling out. Anyway, get a little excited.
Rightly so.
Yeah, good stuff.
So the last thing that I'm curious to pick your brain about is, in the book, he talks about how important positive thinking is and how by nature he is not a positive thinker.
All right. No wonder he and I get along. No.
And that's like his natural go-to is kind of negativity.
What
but
could
he's
go wrong?
Trained himself to think positive and to put those things in the world because that positivity can help with positive outcomes. I just wanted to check in with you and see, does that resonate with you?
I mean, like I said earlier, I'm looking to call myself out when I see myself thinking negatively and not thinking of, like, I want to be thinking, what do I have to gain from a situation, not what do I have to lose?
Right.
There's nothing wrong with being aware of, like, oh, if I pick that I'm going to not be happy. Like, that's okay. But that shouldn't be my default. I don't want to just have a default reaction of, no, that won't work out. So it's something that I'm intentionally working on. Being curious, right? Like, that's probably been like one of my sub themes for this year, because with curiosity comes clarity.
Mm-hmm.
And I can also ask myself when I'm maybe not being positive, like, why do you think that might go wrong? Or why are you saying no? You know, asking the questions instead of allowing myself to state, well, that won't work out. You know, like I don't think I do that very often, but when I catch myself doing it now, it really stands out.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily remember the last time I did, and I don't really want you to like list them off, because you probably know, because you're usually on the other side of me saying no or that's not a great idea. But yeah, it's something I've been leaning into, and it's my homework that I've assigned myself, you know.
Yeah.
Just thinking, what do I have to gain from a situation versus what might I lose?
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Oftentimes I'm fairly positive, but I also, you know me pretty well, and
should hope so.
And although I'm pretty positive, I can also get kind of whiny about things.
No comment.
No, I think that's
I'm not getting entrapped.
You don't want to walk into that?
No.
I guess what I'm saying is the lessons about catching those negative thinking parts and trying to frame them positive, like you were talking about, can also be beneficial for me, because there's times where you sit and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to call this place, and then I'm going to have to be on the phone, and it can just be this spiral of feeling, I don't know.
Yeah, it's not great when like a highlight of your day was, I finally made that call and it wasn't that bad. That's when I have to think like, okay, we need to get some more reps at doing this, because it shouldn't be that hard to call the cable company.
Right. Well, so one this morning I was online with customer service because one of the suitcases broke when we were in Sweden. The zipper stopped working, so we had to I'm sorry, I'm laughing because we had to get the suitcase. We got it a belt, and then I was worried that wasn't enough, so we got it a singlet.
Yeah.
Is that what you would call it? It had like a little like onesie thing that like,
yeah, it was like a little swimsuit.
It was like a little swimsuit.
Yeah.
Or like a little wrestling outfit for his suitcase. I reached out to customer service because I was hoping that I could get an exchange, because it's a nice suitcase. It's just the zipper, one trip, it stopped connecting. And I went in to the chat like this isn't going to go well. They're not going to fix it. It's just blah, blah, blah. And guess what happened?
They fixed it.
No, they didn't fix it. They referred me to the company. So I have to now call the manufacturer of the suitcase and see if it's under warranty and all this stuff. But I'm like, I wonder what would have happened if I went into it with a different positive attitude. The outcome might have been the same, but I wouldn't have been like, wah, wah about it.
Yeah.
And just grumpy about it.
You were kind of like worried about the experience before it even happened.
Yeah.
And it's wasted energy, right? Like that
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess anxiety a little bit of like, and expecting it to go a certain way, which is not the way you want it to go. Sometimes our energy, when it's like that, it kind of makes it happen. It's not necessarily easy. We don't tend to have great experiences on those types of customer service calls because you do just get deferred and rerouted and given a number to write down and to call back at this extension. And
yeah, exactly. And I was trying to replace it with, they're going to go above and beyond for you. Doesn't matter. It's been 120 days. They're going to overlook that. And,
I think the biggest learning lesson here is don't wait so long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's also helpful.
Maybe.
That could have helped too.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, I'll keep working on flipping those soundtracks.
That's good. Flip it to side B.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, let's get out of here then.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.